Hello and welcome. I am Dr. Jack, and on this channel the focus is on helping you live a healthier, happier, and wiser life through knowledge. I am a big believer of the company Tesla, and as well as its CEO Elon Musk. And with this video, it is looking at Tesla in 2021. And I wanted to discuss all the exciting things that will occur for the company and how each of these will be a significant catalyst for the company as well as the stock price long term. Let us look ahead to this year and see what will be coming out and what we can expect. So let's start by talking about the vehicles that Tesla will produce for the year 2021. In 2020, they made 510,000 cars, and for 2021, the projection is for them to make about 50% more, but I believe it'll be closer to about 1 million cars. And as sort of a side note, if anyone is concerned about whether or not customers or consumers are satisfied with their Tesla vehicles, Consumer Reports did just release their survey of car ownership, and they found that Tesla once again took the top spot. They have also refreshed their higher end vehicles such as the Model S as well as the Model X recently. With the Model S, they released the Model S Plaid, and the specs on this vehicle is just pretty amazing. If you see here, it does 390 miles estimated range with less than 2 seconds 0 to 60 and a top speed of 200 miles per hour and peak horsepower of 1020. They redid the entire interior and they did chop off the top of the steering wheel, and some people don't like this, but I actually think it's a good thing. The fact is that when you are driving now, especially with airbag deployment and everything else, you really don't want to rest your hand on top of the steering wheel. You really want your hand at the 9 and 3 o'clock position so that if the airbag deploys, it does not cause damage to your arm and cause your arm to hit your head or something like that in the event of a significant crash. They have the Plaid as well as a long range model, and as you can see that the long range model also has a 0 to 60 or 3.1 seconds with a range of 412 miles and 670 peak horsepower. And they did do some minor tweaks to the cosmetics of it on the exterior. And there were also these sort of similar changes to their Model X as well. But moving on, one of the big events that will happen in the vehicles, the Tesla Semi is rumored that perhaps they will get 2,500 vehicles by the end of the year. I think this is awfully optimistic. I would be surprised if they're able to do this by the end of the year, but it would be fantastic if they could. And the Tesla Semi will really sort of revolutionize the entire trucking industry once it comes out. The companies that purchase these will save thousands of dollars in the long run due to maintenance issues with traditional trucks as opposed to the very low maintenance of a electric vehicle. And they'll go over 500 miles, and they have 0 to 60 times that rivals most sedans. They will likely start producing these in their Fremont factory and then sort of transfer over to Giga, Texas for mass production in 2022. I suspect if any of these are made, it will be sort of near the end of the year. At Giga, Texas, they will also be producing the CyberTruck in mass once it is completely up and running. And to me, this is the biggest ticket item for 2021 if they can actually get it sort of ramped up. And in interviews with Elon Musk, he said that it will be produced to an extent by the end of the year is his prediction. However, it will obviously not ramp up into full production until the following year into 2022. When the Cybertruck comes out, it will really be impressive because for 40 years in the United States, a truck is the #1 seller, is typically the Ford F-150. And this vehicle will be insanely profitable. It is really low cost to produce the Cybertruck overall compared to other vehicles, and I imagine their margins will be substantially higher. And in regards to the Tesla Roadster, which will be sort of their supercar, if you will, and they're actually going to put SpaceX rockets into it. The Roadster, I do not foresee coming out in 2021. I believe that the Cyber and Semi will be a priority just due to the sheer volume and pre-orders that are needed for that. And so let's talk about the $25,000 vehicle that Tesla presented at Battery Day. They stated that they will not come out with the $25,000 car until 2023. However, there are more and more information coming out that this vehicle is already being designed and will likely start production even possibly by the end of 2021. Now, It is my guess that it will probably have over 300 miles of range, and I imagine that will be 0 to 60 in less than 6 seconds, only because Tesla doesn't make slow cars. And I think what will be real interesting is to see if there's any mention of it at the Guangzhou Auto Show, which will be in November of 2001. I am highly optimistic that perhaps there will be a reveal at that show. And they will likely produce different types of cars in different regions. They will likely just make a very small car or a small-ish car, thinking something similar to, say, the Volkswagen Golf, because this is mainly that segment that is targeting kind of the smaller luxury sedan. And this to me will really be a game changer. And the reason is that this was their entire goal from the get-go, from when they started building these cars. And it was to get to a point where they could mass produce a more affordable car for the vast majority of people. And when you're talking about putting out a $25,000 electric vehicle car, now you're targeting a significant portion of the population that even goes out and purchases Hondas or Toyota vehicles. And a lot of people online call it the Model 2 in regards to this $25,000 car. So I don't know if you guys know, but Tesla's cars, the Model S, Model 3, Model X, and Model Y, it's supposed to spell out sexy. So I guess you could put the number 2 in front of it and have it be too sexy. But I think it will be cooler to have it be an R and where it's sexier as opposed to too sexy. But comment down below, let me know what you guys think, whether too sexy or sexier sounds better. So moving on to the energy side, and when energy, we're talking about the solar as well as the commercial mega pack or power pack, as well as the residential power wall, and the battery production that Tesla has announced at Battery Day with their 4680 tabless battery cells. And if you haven't watched that entire event, I do suggest going and watching that, and you will find just how far ahead and how vertically integrated Tesla really has become. So with this new battery, they already said that they were producing them at the time of Battery Day on September 22nd of 2020, and their goal is obviously to ramp up production. And this is not to replace their current partnerships with Panasonic, LG Chem, or CATL. The one thing about Tesla is that they are actually battery constrained, just like every other car manufacturer that's trying to enter the EV space. And so they're actually doing this to meet the demand and the batteries that they will need in the future, and not to replace their current partnership. I do foresee that by the end of the 2021 year, there will be significant progress made in regards to the production of these 4680 batteries. And ultimately, that is what will lead to the ramp up in production, especially of the Tesla Semi, as I foresee that battery mainly going within that vehicle, and on top of these other higher performance vehicles that they are making, such as the Plaid models. And they have already come out and said that they will be producing these batteries in Giga Berlin as well as Giga Texas. So they will likely have a battery production site on each continent. Moving on to their supercharging station, to me, this infrastructure build out that they have done across the entire country is one of the great strengths that Tesla has over its competitors, amongst many others. In February 2021, Tesla's Shanghai supercharging station factory actually opened, and their goal is actually to build 10,000 stalls per year. And just to kind of put this in perspective of the parabolic ramp up of the supercharging stations, Tesla just surpassed 20,000 superchargers installed in total, and that's after 8 years of building the network. So the growth will increase substantially. And moving on to their commercial power pack, and as I mentioned in my previous video, the demand for this is substantial across the world. Many governments are asking Tesla to go and install these power packs, and their pre-orders date all the way out to 2025. During the last Q4 quarter call, Elon Musk has already said that they will expect ramp up of this substantially in 2021. And when looking at energy in regards to the residential aspect of power storage, or the power wall, in 2020 they had already installed over 100,000 of these power walls within various residential homes. It seems that they will ramp up this production substantially as well, and they foresee demand to continue to outpace production. There are significant tax incentives for installing either a Tesla solar roof and or the Powerwall as well. And their energy storage growth grew 200% in 2020. For the first time, they surpassed 3 gigawatt hours in 1 year, and that's an 83% increase over the prior year. And speaking of their solar, Tesla is in a major ramp up and hiring stage for their solar business. Originally, they had to pull quite a bit of the talent and workers off of the solar business to help produce and ramp up the Model 3. However, now that all of that is more stable, they are shifting all of this staff more back towards and focusing on the solar aspects of their business. And Musk has been quoted in interviews to say that 2021, you will see their solar business ramp up significantly. Tesla has long said that they want to be the leader in power or utility business, and it is timed perfectly during a time that the world is marshaling a lot of capital to focus on more renewable energy and resources. And other news that I expect to see significant progress in for 2021 is within Elon Musk's other company, the Boring Company. And for those of you who don't know, it is a company that basically burrows tunnels underground, and they already have many projects. One of the biggest ones, and likely to be finished first, will be in Las Vegas. And only electric vehicles with autonomous drivings will be allowed in there, and it will likely just be Teslas that will go within these tunnels. And this is just a great way to advertise for Tesla. The one big thing that I will be on the lookout for is how far along they are with their Dojo supercomputer. So for those of you that don't know, Dojo was first mentioned during Autonomy Day on April 22nd of 2019, and it is their supercomputer that is Tesla's neural network that will ultimately lead to autonomous driving with increased learning speed. And this supercomputer is specifically designed to train neural networks. And what you can do with a neural network is basically it learns by training. And so it trains by running endless amounts of samples to perfect the response. And different characteristics are given a different weight for their importance. And once it is trained, it can react to an unknown event in an original manner. Once they are able to complete this will sit there and basically run scenario after scenario after all the billions of miles that the various Teslas have driven already, and input all that data into this neural network so that it can basically train itself and to minimize the amount of mistakes, or to have it function as efficiently and more safely than a human driver can. And this is a big thing to follow, because the day that full self-driving level 5 comes out, then that is when the valuation of Tesla will go up significantly. You'll see a significant rise in their stock price. It will disrupt many various industries for trillions of dollars and will lead to robo-taxis ultimately. So just some other things that would be cool to see and follow, whether or not they are mentioned or if they come out in 2021. One of them being Tesla's own app store. The new Model S and Model X, their onboard computer is quite powerful, and is powerful enough to run Cyberpunk. And we all know that Elon Musk is a big gamer himself. I would not be surprised if down the road they create their own gaming platform, say something like Steam or Epic has done, and collect royalties from having that, kind of like your iPhone app store or something like that. And another thing to keep an eye out on is whether or not the HVAC system will be coming out or discussed in further detail in 2021. I would love for Tesla to enter this space. This is essentially modeled after their heat pump technology that they ended up putting inside their vehicles to make them more energy efficient and gives them more reliable operational range in cold weather. It would not be very hard to create a HVAC system based on what they already know how to do. And it would come with its own humidifier built in, as well as its own HEPA filter. I don't know about you at home, but I suffer from a significant amount of allergies to things like dust mites and things. So this would be so awesome if they would go in this route. So this is a summary of all the things that I feel, if you are interested in the company or you're an investor in the company, that you should look out for in 2021 or even into early 2022. I think this year is when Tesla's manufacturing prowess and their efficiency in doing so will really start to shine, as it already has, as well as demonstrate just how important it is to have the level of vertical integration that they have done, as well as the innovation that they have done in regards to their battery technology and all the other various technological feats that they have accomplished. And I think that they will continue to increase their margins on each and every vehicle that they produce. Their lineup will be nearly complete of all the vehicles that they had hoped to build by the end of 2021, and so it'll be really exciting to see where they go in the future. And I do just want to close by saying that obviously I am not a financial advisor, and if you are to buy any Tesla stock, invest at your own risk. But I truly feel that if you invest in Tesla, no matter the current price, that if you hold long term, you will be handsomely rewarded ultimately at the end. And so with that, I will leave you guys. And as always, if you liked what you saw, please feel free to support the channel by liking, subscribing, as well as hitting that notification bell so you know when my next videos come out. And it is also Chinese New Year, so I do wish you all a happy new year. It is the year of the ox, and 2021 has surely got to be better than 2020. Till next time, take care, stay safe, bye bye, Pura Vida.